Hi, English 9 parents. Happy 2020. I hope the new year's off to a great start. I hope that you had a great break with your students. I want to catch you up a little bit on what's been going on in English 9, and even more so, talk a little bit about what's going on here in the next few weeks leading into midterms. Let's actually start with midterms and we'll work our way backwards. And I promise to hopefully be able to explain why it is that I want to go in that order. The English 9 exam is actually spread out over 2 days, one of which is next week, and the other of which takes place the actual midterm day. Starting with that very, very last one on their midterm day, which for them is either the 23rd or 24th, depending on which hour they have me for. They have an hour-and-a-half exam, and that's their reading and their grammar portion. The reading is on passages they haven't seen, fiction and nonfiction texts, types of questions similar to what we've been talking about all year. So even though they're new passages, it's skills we've been working on. Nothing to really study for per se, but I think they're going to be in good shape for that. The other part of it is the grammar, the sentence study work that we've been doing. And really we've been doing that since the beginning of October. So October, November, December, polishing it up in January. And so we're going to continue to work on that over the next few weeks. So that's the exam they take on their actual exam day. The other half of their exam actually takes place next week. And it's actually kind of nice that they spread this out that way. There's not too much going on all at once for them. Writing is, of course, a really big component of the English 9 class, and so they have an in-class essay to write. That in-class essay is an argument essay, and it takes place over Wednesday and Thursday of next week. You heard that right. It takes place over 2 days, which is really, really nice. When they come in on Wednesday, they're going to find out what the topic is. They're going to get a prompt that asks them to kind of choose a side. And then we're going to take all of Wednesday to read and listen to a source that gives evidence kind of for both sides. And then they get to plan. They get to outline. They get to find their evidence. They get to do all of the legwork on Wednesday. Then I'm going to grab all of their stuff on Wednesday. When they walk in Thursday, I hand it back to them, and they write their essay on Thursday. So they actually have 2 days to write an in-class essay, which also becomes much more doable for students. It sounds a little bit daunting. We're going to write a practice one this week. We're going to go through that exact process of taking 1 day to read and listen to a source and outline, another day to practice writing it, just so we can kind of get the jitters out a little bit. But next week they'll do that as the real deal. But again, that means they walk out on Wednesday knowing what the topic is, what the prompt is, what they're going to be writing on. They should walk in with a lot of confidence next Thursday for that. The other thing I want to talk to you about, and kind of take this idea of the argument essay they're writing for their midterm, put that on the back burner for a quick second because this is going to connect. The only other thing I want to talk to you about before bringing that back around is they just received their Of Mice and Men essays back. Now, that was on a work of fiction, but it was an argument essay. So all of that work that they did should really prep them for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Now, it's not going to be on Of Mice and Men again. It's on a totally different topic. It's a nonfiction topic. But the structure that they wrote in, exact same deal. So, looking back through their essay is a perfect review for Wednesday and Thursday's work. Because even though the topic changes, the structure doesn't. In addition, if students would like to rework, revise that essay in any way, shape, or form, they can do so. And they need to turn that essay in by next Wednesday. That's not an accident. The idea being that they should go ahead and do all of the work they need to do to make that Of Mice and Men essay go from good to great before they go and do their midterm writing. That way they've worked out any kinks. That's the goal. To do that, they need to try and conference with me by the end of this week. They can do that before school, after school, or during advisory hour. I can also meet students during lunch upon request. So if your student looks back and says, I don't know if this essay was my best, or they look back and they say, I'm not sure I can write an on-demand argument essay in 2 classes. Like I struggled with this one. We took 3 weeks on it. You need to encourage your student to sign up to conference with me. They already received a link to do so. It came back in their essay from Google Classroom. They can click right on that link and they can sign up for conference slots before school, after school, during advisory hour, or again, if none of those slots work, then I can try and be available during B lunch. So as you chat with your student, either tonight or at some point this week, touch base with him or her. Make sure that they've gone through the essay. They didn't just look at the grade. That's what they're going to want to do. Make sure they look at the feedback. There's feedback on the side of the essay as well as at the bottom of the essay. If they can't talk to you about both of those, that means they haven't reviewed things properly. And consider reviewing that with them. Once you've done that, once they've done that, encourage them to sign up. And that way we can conference this week. They can polish up over the weekend. And not only will that help improve that of Mice and Men grade, but it's going to have them ready for the on-demand argument writing that they're doing next Wednesday and Thursday. Folks, if you have any questions about the schedule or about anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot me an email and, of course, encourage your student to do the same. I hope you've had a great start to 2020. I'm looking forward to wrapping up this semester with your students, ending on a high note. And then we've got all sorts of great stuff coming their way second semester, and we'll make sure we get a video out to you explaining a little bit about what that looks like. Folks, have a great rest of your week, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.